Yo, this is Soldrum86 bringing you another video. Yes, I know this is very different because you do not see the background to 2K25. This is Forza Horizon 5, a game that I wanted to install and play for the longest time. I'm only a little bit familiar with uh, Forza, but I do love it. This game is awesome, but I needed to delete a game to install this one. So 2K had to go. I'm sorry, man. It just did. It was a game that I wasn't playing to begin with. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just delete it. And if I ever have the urge or, want to play it again, then I will at a later date. It's just that I think we're going on almost a month of me really not playing 2K at all. The only time that I was even booting the game up was to make videos so it could be the backdrop. So I'm like, you know what? That's really not important. The thumbnail will be 2K related and all that other stuff, but I've got to play games that are fun for me. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of like what we're going to talk about, man. We're going to talk about a couple things. And yet again, I'm going to try to keep my promise and not make this video long. Real quick, though. I love that Forza actually has kit. For those of you who don't know, some of you might already know. If you've been subscribed to me for some time now, where I was talking about this is literally one of my favorite cars, like ever. It's this, and specifically kit. Like this Pontiac is good regardless, but it was the way that they made kit look. The different body kit in the front. Um, just Kit just looked awesome. And so this is officially Kit. This is awesome. Like, so they do have a pack. It's like a Hollywood pack, and it comes with like all three DeLoreans, like all the different looks for the DeLoreans and Back to the Future. Comes with Knight Rider, comes with the Jeep from Jurassic Park. But this kit is awesome. Look at that the shiny black. Kit used to always be so shiny, man. And the graphics to Forza are amazing. So when I saw this, like I literally geeked out because I was playing what's the game? Oh my gosh. Oh, the Crew Motorfest. And they have this car, but it's not kit. You have to kind of like do other things to kind of make it look, you have to put the light on there, but even when you put the light on there, it's more so just like a decal. It's not really the sensor light. Um, but this is awesome. I have the volume turned all the way down just because they play music, but I love doing this, like getting in the car and everything. Now I don't want to accidentally drive away, because I have done that a couple times. But um, let's get in the. You know what? Let's get in the car and talk real quick, guys. Let's get in this car and talk. Um, I just wanted to mention that, man. This is. Did I mention my other favorite car? I know it's this in Skyline GTR, specifically the Skylines from like '98, early 2000 Skyline GTR. Those are my favorite cars. Like this and the Skyline GTR, all time favorite cars. Those are my top two of all time. Anyways, um, first things first, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to JCSJ, um, bigger YouTuber who gameplay over everything. He's actually collabed with Jesse from Pro Wrestling Shoot a couple times, and because they're both huge gameplay guys, and so JCSJ. His ideas that he comes up with for 2K are amazing. And I even wrote him a comment one time and I said, like, dude, like 2K should hire you to help with the game because, he comes up with great ideas and he comes up with a lot of ideas that, let's be honest, 2K should be coming up with as well. It shouldn't be a situation where it's just a YouTuber coming up with the things that he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's very basic stuff a lot of the times, but it's stuff that for a simulation game is needed and would make the experience so much better. And when I listen to JCSJ's videos, I start thinking to myself, like, how have these guys not, come up with the stuff that he's talking about? How have they not thought about it? And just check out JCSJ's videos and give him a listen. Watch several videos, a couple videos. The ideas that he has, seriously, it doesn't make any sense why the guys over at 2K have not thought of them. The reason why I know they haven't thought of them is because every time there's an interview or something, they never even mention those things that JCSJ talks about. Not only does he talk about brand new ideas, but he talks about bringing back certain gameplay um, things that were there in the past, like heels acting like heels. Having little things like that, like being able to ignore the referee's count when a wrestler has his hand on the rope and things like that. Like he talks about bringing stuff like that back, and so he just makes some really good videos, and I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. I can't remember. I feel like I've done it before in one of my videos, shouted him out, but I did want to give him a shout out. I really did, because he makes some great stuff, man. If 2K were to implement half of the stuff that the guy talks about, I would be playing 2K right now. That's how good his content is and the stuff that he comes up with. He talks about a lot of what I feel are the important things. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out on that, because I thought that he makes some great stuff, man. So now that that's out of the way, I wanted to talk about the other side of things. And again, these are from people that I really do like and I respect, and I have no ill will against them. I don't have to mention any names because everybody does it. So you can really kind of talk about everybody when it comes to this. But one thing that I really do not like, and I've always not liked it, it's not like it's anything new. I've never been a fan of the clickbait thumbnails. Clickbait thumbnails could go in a lot of different ways. You can act like you're going to talk about a certain thing, at least for a long time, but only talk about it for a little bit. Kind of like how the news does. Like I'm not a news watcher. I've never really been, but when I used to check out the news a long time ago, uh, you know how they would always kind of have like this one thing that you wanted to learn, like know about. It was something that was usually good, because they always talk about bad news, bad news. News is just all bad. So when they would always have like that one good thing that they was like getting ready to talk about, it might be something fun. I don't know. It might have something to do with a movie or whatever. And you're waiting and you're watching. And this is back before the news was like on a 24-hour cycle. So you're waiting and waiting for them to talk about, because they keep teasing it. Oh, and when we come back, we're going to show you such and such, such. It'd be something real fun, right? You're trying to get through all of the bad news, and this person, this person was robbed, and this was this. And it's like, all right, let me get through all this bad stuff. And when they get to the good thing, they only talk about it for a little bit, and it's like 2 minutes left on the like 5 o'clock news or whatever. And then it's over, and it was over. That was it. They just kind of, they built you up to talk about this big thing, and it only lasted for like 2 minutes. So there's that type of stuff. I've seen YouTubers do that, where they do the title of the video is one thing, and it takes them forever to get to the major point, and by the time that they do, the video is like over. And I get the strategy behind it. Especially when you're getting paid off of YouTube. Don't get it twisted. I understand the strategy behind it, but I hate it. The other thing that I hate is when you have like thumbnails that, for me, because of how I feel about 2K, you have thumbnails that present the game in a certain way that are false. For example, when you have a thumbnail that says, "Oh, this patch is a huge game changer. This changes everything," but it really doesn't. Are the patches like good? Yes, to a certain extent. Not every patch I don't think is really that great. I think a lot of patches are just, hey, this was something that was supposed to be done by the time that we all bought the game, and now you're starting to finally do it. To me, that doesn't count. It's like, yes, I appreciate that you did it, but this is something that should have been done to begin with, or this shouldn't have been broken to begin with. Now that you fix this, it broke something else. So I just think that it's a little misleading to people when you say, oh, this is a game changer, this is this, because a lot of people can be impressionable. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of impressionable people. And so when you say things like that, when you make your videos titled a certain way, you can literally get people to buy a game that they probably shouldn't be buying because they're going to probably feel like they're going to waste their money. You know, I mean, now again, you never know, but I'm just saying that that is a high possibility of it happening where you would just have a situation where people just kind of, oh, they did this finally and they did this. And so then if that person in the video talks it up like it's this big grandiose thing, you know, for 2K, I think you're misrepresenting what 2K is. And that's one of the things why I never wanted to do that. I never tried to do that in my videos because 2K they don't deserve it. They don't warrant any kind of over positivity about the game because it's still in the same place, if not worse, than it's been in the past. But yeah, I'm sick of the clickbaity thumbnails and video titles. I'm not with it. I really don't like it. Now, people can do whatever they want. This isn't an attack on anybody. Like, not at all. But this is just something where I'm like, you know what? I know that it's just not my style, and I just got to keep it 100% with this game, man, or with 2K. Not this game. This game is fun. This game that you see on the screen right now, even though I'm not playing it at this very moment, this game is fun. Forza is actually a good time. But yeah, I can't do it, you know, because the thing is that, like, what I've noticed is that people with 2K, they take the smallest little thing that they do and they kind of overpraise them. And I'm not sure if they overpraise them because of what they do and they make money off of YouTube. I think that's a part of it. But I also wonder if sometimes because the game is so meh and it lacks a lot, sometimes I wonder if every time they just do one little thing, it just instinctively makes people get very, very excited about it. Maybe that's what it is. To be honest, maybe that is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is that. It's kind of like universe mode, right? When you hear people talk about universe mode, yes, they still talk about how much it lacks, but then they turn around and say, "Oh, but there's so much added to it." Not necessarily. You know, to me, the biggest things was like, okay, 2 night PLEs because they do that now, but it's such a simple update. And then there's promos, but promos are half-assed, right? These are things that I've talked about on video before. This isn't anything new. But it's just I can't overly praise them for doing the bare minimum. You know, if they do something big, some of the big ideas that I've had, some of the big ideas that you guys have had, some of the big ideas that other people around the wrestling gaming community has had, then we can overly praise them because it's like, okay, not only are they listening, they added several cool things to universe mode to actually make it playable, to actually make it to where you don't get bored of it. That's when you overly praise them. Oh, they finally fixed the way the gameplay works. It finally is starting to feel more like a wrestling game and not a hybrid. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I have been somebody who always appreciated a good balance between arcade and sim. Hell, I'm somebody who loves arcade games, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why I'm playing Forza. Forza is actually one of the greatest examples of a mix between a simulation game and an arcade game. Now, this isn't Gran Turismo simulation, but it is more sim than, let's say, The Crew or Need for Speed. You know, in Forza, this is a game that I'm not brand new at, but I am new to. What was it? My buddy, I used to always own an Xbox, but I never got Forza. This is in the past when I used, the last Xbox I had was an Xbox One. I didn't get the newest one, but I played Forza like one time, and it was at my best friend's house. He had a steering wheel. He had like the whole like thing, like not just the steering wheel and the pedals, but that whole thing that you can like sit in. His wife got it for him for Christmas one year, and this was like, man, I think this was Forza 4. I don't know. It was one of them, but it was awesome. I was terrible at it because I wasn't used to the simulation aspect of the game at the time. You know, this was way before Gran Turismo 7 came out, um, and I was terrible at it. I had a good time, but I was terrible at it. But then when I bought Gran Turismo 7, I know I'm deviating from the conversation right now, but when I bought Gran Turismo 7, I kind of mastered that game because that one is like 100% simulation. Um, then from that point, I've always had the crew games. I got 1 and 2 still on my library. I got Motorfest installed, and now I got Forza installed. But anyways, I just wanted to this that whole thing started from talking about the mix between simulation and arcade style. Um but the way 2K's gameplay is, man, even the gameplay just it lacks. Just so, which was another reason why I haven't been playing the game is because I just don't like the way the game feels anymore. And I think a lot of this is due to me seeing the writing on the wall with the company's direction and where they're going. Um, it's just seeing the writing on the wall. Oh, and last but certainly not least, um, when it comes to 2K, and this kind of goes into like other creators and when they make videos and when they act surprised. Can we really be surprised about the things that 2K does that doesn't seem consumer friendly? Or I shouldn't even say seem, that aren't consumer friendly. I mean, seriously, can we literally be surprised? I don't think that we could be surprised. This is visual concepts. You know what I mean? 2K, we've seen what they do. We've seen what they did with NBA 2K, and every single time without fail, whenever they do something, the community gets upset. And I'm talking, and I'm not talking about like the fan, like the subs. I'm talking about like the content creators. They get upset about it. They talk about it. Oh, they shouldn't be doing this. I think this is a bit much. Blah 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 blah. Hopefully they do this and hopefully they do that. Hopefully they change the practice. Like no, guys. And when I'm saying guys, I'm not even talking just to you guys right now. I'm talking to the other content creators. It only gets worse from here. If gaming has showed us anything, especially with annually released titles like Call of Duty, Madden, NBA 2K, any game that you can think of that annually released, and the business practices get a little more scummy, a little more scummy. It doesn't get better. You know, people don't like that you can't have a lot of VC after a win in the island. You think they're going to change that for us? No, no, no. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. It doesn't, it look, it gets worse because they're about money. They know what they can get away with because we bought it and we did all the things that we shouldn't have done. So they know what they can get away with. They know exactly what they can get away with. They move the needle ever so slightly to get more and more money out of the consumer. So it doesn't change. My faction, anything that people are upset with, it gets worse. The island, anything that people are upset with, it gets worse. Now, what they're going to do, because it's strategy, they're going to make things a little more fun for people to play in a couple different aspects. But while they do that, there's always going to be that other thing where you just got to wait for that other foot to drop. And it's like, oh, you guys did this and you guys did this. I'm about to be booted from this. All right, hold on. What if I go? I'm about to go to another car. Hold up. Let me get into this car. Yeah, all right, yeah. I want to stay here. I don't feel like driving right now. Um, but yeah, man, it only gets worse from here. They're not gonna have a heart and change what they're doing. It's not how it works. That's just not how it works in today's gaming industry. They're not gonna change and be like, you know what? We were wrong about what we were doing, guys. We apologize. We apologize. No, it's not how it works. They're going to continue to try to get as much money as they possibly can instead of trying to make a better overall gaming experience. I think people underestimate a lot of the times how strategic these companies can get. I really do. I think that they really missed that mark. And here's a good indicator to know how strategic gaming companies have been, even in the beginning when gaming wasn't like it how it is now. And this isn't even necessarily a bad thing of what I'm about to talk about, but it shows strategy. So I was watching a video on NBA Jam when it was a documentary that came out when it was the 25th anniversary of NBA Jam. You can find it on YouTube. They talk about all the hoops it took to um, they talk about everything that it took to actually get the game um, started because the NBA didn't want it at first because they didn't want their product represented in an arcadey way, in a fake way. They wanted it to be realistic. Eventually, they got the NBA to fold and say, "All right, let's do this." Well, when they made the game, the creator talked about how they would go to arcades and they would be in the back room and they would watch people play the game and they would see how people were reacting to the game. Were they quitting? And they did make the game a little bit too difficult because they were noticing that whenever people would lose like the first quarter, because if anybody remembers NBA Jam, as much as I love that game, and it's actually known as one of the, I don't think any arcade has ever made more money than NBA Jam has. Part of that is because you had to put in 2 quarters after each quarter. So you couldn't put in like 2 quarters and play the full game. After quarter one, you had to put more quarters in. Quarter two, you had to put more quarters in. So the guy talked about how if players lost because the game was too difficult, he noticed that everybody was walking away. Put 2 quarters in, play, lose the first quarter, walk away. So they had to balance it. So they were like, all right, let's balance the game out a little bit. And once they started to balance it, they started to notice that even though people had to keep putting quarters in, they had to, when they balanced the game, made the AI a little bit better, like nerfed it a little bit, it kept people playing more and more and more. Gaming strategy with gaming goes very, very deep. So please don't underestimate what these companies are going to do when the strategy works against you, right? There's strategy that can work for the consumer. There's also strategy that can work against the consumer. Devs know what they're doing. These companies know what they're doing. I shouldn't say devs, but these CEOs, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they are doing. Let me put my license plate back on this car or on my cars, period. Hey, I did not mean to do that. I don't know why that just says A. Can I make that not? I don't want that to say anything. Uh, I'll do that. I will do that. All right. But guys, I think that's about it, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is a little different looking at cars in the background, but I needed to play this game, man. I wanted to play this game. I wanted to install this game, and WWE 2K got the short end of the stick. I hope I wasn't all. Listen, I hope I wasn't all over the place with this video. I know when I was about to get kicked from free roam, that kind of threw me off a little bit. But let me know what you guys feel in the comment section. Wrestling content is not stopping, by the way. It's just, and I still have videos to upload from 2K, so you'll still see videos after this. Trust me, it is not going to be current stuff like at all. Anyways, man, it is your boy Soldier. I'm 86, and I'm out. Peace.